Elementary school students take their knowledge of the law and the justice system to the courtroom as a part of a mock trial competition.
This court is now in session.
These students are part of the district attorney's Legal Lives project. It's an educational program that teaches students about the law and the legal process. The students take on the roles of judges, attorneys, bailiffs, victims, witnesses, and jurors in the case of the state versus James Sturgis in 4 different courtrooms.
Today will begin the trial of the state of Georgia versus James Sturgis.
Mr. Sturgis is accused of attacking Miss Jane Brown in an elevator.
I came home from getting my groceries. There was a man in the lobby. He was there for about 5 minutes. I saw the man enter the elevator. I entered after him. The doors closed and started up.
Could you please tell us what happened next?
The elevator reached my floor, the 6th floor. The doors opened, the man looked into the hallway and turned around to face me. I saw he had a knife in his hand.
Mr. Sturgis maintained his innocence and was backed up with testimony from his mother.
Mr. Sturgis, I direct your attention to Saturday, January 7th. Where were you?
After emotional arguments from both attorneys, it was the jurors who had the final say.
We find the defendant, James Sturgis, guilty as charged.
For all their hard work, the schools and students with the best performance were presented with awards.
And for the best school in this competition, Cleveland Avenue. This is our 16th year of operation of a very simple program we call Legal Lives. Employees from the district attorney's office, particularly our attorneys, go out to elementary schools in our city and they talk to young people about making good decisions. They talk about the criminal justice system and particularly about what goes on in the Fulton County DA's office. At the culmination of that year, we hold a mock trial. And what we saw today was the best mock trial competition in the world. And we're just so proud to be a part of it.
Elementary school students from 10 schools in the city of Atlanta and Fulton County participate in the Legal Lives program.
Depending on what I'm shooting, maybe something longer. This rule is about 10 seconds.
Whoa! How about those sticks?
Get down and boogie.
So you all start as the prosecution after you all are already beginning with the prosecution.
All arise. The Superior Court of Fulton County is now in session. The Honorable Judge, Joan So, is now presiding. In the case of the State of Georgia versus James Sturgis, indictment number Z12345. You may now be seated. Gentlemen of the jury, today we'll begin the trial of the State of Georgia versus James Sturgis. The state is represented by Alden Single and Christina James. Mr. Sturgis is represented by Mariah Davis and Corey Isaac. The defendant who is seated before you is presumed innocent, and you must listen to all of the evidence before you return a verdict. We will now have opening statements. First, the prosecution will make his or her opening statement. Then, the defense will make an opening statement, if they wish. Is the state ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Will the prosecution will now proceed with their opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Point robbery of Miss Jane Brown by the defendant, Mr. James Sturgis. The evidence will show that on January 7th, Miss Brown was returning to her apartment building. When she entered the building, she saw a man that she did not recognize. The lobby was reasonably lit, and she focused her attention on that man. When the elevator arrived, she stepped in and the man followed. She pressed the 6th floor button and the man pressed 10. When the elevator arrived at the 6th floor, the man stepped out, turned around, and blocked the doorway. He had a knife in his hand. The defendant pushed her down, snatched her pocketbook, and ran away. Miss Brown hurt her knee. Furthermore, the evidence will show that the man seen by Miss Brown in the lobby, in the elevator, and in the hallway of the 6th floor was the defendant, James Sturgis, the same James Sturgis she identified 12 days later.
May it please the court, members of the jury, my name is Mariah Davis and I represent Mr. James Sturgis. As the judge told you, the prosecutor has proved beyond a reasonable doubt that my client, Mr. James Sturgis, robbed Miss Brown. You will deliver the verdict of not guilty. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello? Okay.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that this testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I affirm.
Please state your full name.
Brown. Jane Brown.
Miss Brown, I direct your attention to January 7th of this year at approximately 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Could you please tell us what happened?
Well, I came home from getting my groceries. There was a man in the lobby. He was there for about 5 minutes. I saw the man enter the elevator. I entered after him. The doors closed and started up.
Could you please tell us what happened next?
The elevator reached my floor, the 6th floor. The doors opened, the man looked into the hallway and turned around to face me. I saw he had a knife in his hand.
Miss Brown, could you see his face?
Yes, he was directly in front of me. A tall, thin man, about 6 foot, 6'2", wearing a black jacket, black pants, and sneakers.
So, Miss Brown, the man that you saw in the lobby, the man that you saw in the elevator, when was the last time you saw the defendant?
It was January 19th on the street. I called the police and told Officer Banner to arrest him.
Very good, Miss Brown. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
It was 8 to 10 feet.
Near you or near the man?
Near me.
Was the lobby dark near the man?
Not really, I could still see him.
Was the man in front of you, behind you, or to the side?
He was in the front, to the side.
How long were you in the lobby?
3 to 5 minutes.
Did anyone else come in?
No.
Did you stare at the man for 3 to 5 minutes?
No, I glanced at him from time to time.
Did you speak to him?
No.
Did he turn in your direction?
No.
Now when you got into the elevator, where did he stand and where were you standing?
I was standing near the back, facing
The elevator stood in front of you?
Yes.
Isn't it a fact that you could not see his face from where you were standing?
No, I can see the side of it.
But isn't it a fact that you could not see his complete face?
Yes.
Did you get a good look at the knife?
Yes, I called the police and gave a description.
Did you ever tell anyone that the knife the man who robbed you had was a red pocket knife?
No.
Prior to today, did anyone ever show you the knife?
No.
How long did it take for the robbery to occur?
I don't know. It happened so fast. It did.
Prosecution, please call your next witness.
The state would like to call Police Officer Chris Barry. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that this testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I affirm.
Please state your name and occupation.
No objection, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I show to the witness?
Yes, you may.
Officer Banner, can you please describe State's Exhibit number 1 in evidence, please?
It's a red handle with a 4-inch blade. This is the knife I recovered from James Sturgis on January 19th.
Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness.
Defense, you may question the witness.
Knife?
No.
She never said that the person who robbed her had a red pocket knife, correct?
Correct.
How many men carry pocket knives?
A lot.
More than 100?
Yes.
More than 1,000?
Sure, maybe.
Did Ms. Brown give you a description of the robber?
Yes, she said he was a tall, thin man, 6 to 6'2", wearing a black jacket, black pants, and sneakers.
Did Ms. Brown say he had a mask on?
No.
Is a general description of a tall, thin man wearing a black jacket and black pants. Is that correct?
Yes, a general description.
Isn't that a description of many men?
Yes.
Thank you, Officer Banner. No further questions, Your Honor.
Witness.
I call James Sturgis.
Right hand. Do you swear or affirm that this testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I affirm. James, I directed to you January 7th. Where were you? Shout out to my mom. I was at her house. Was your mom there at the time? No, she was at work till 4. James, tell the court, if your mom wasn't there, what were you doing next to the apartment? She was holding the church service that night, and I was too busy cleaning up. At any time after your mother allowed you to go to the apartment? You had to get some soda. About how long was that? About 15, 20 minutes. About how long were you out? About what time was that? About 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Convicted of aggravated assault with a knife. Is that correct?
That was in my past. I really don't want to talk about it, but yeah, that was when I was 18 at a football game.
But you were, nonetheless, convicted of aggravated assault with a knife, correct?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness.
Mr. Sturgis, you may step down.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that this testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I affirm. It says I directed to you on January 7th. Where were you?
I was at work.
What anything stands out about that day?
Well, I had planned to charge social for that particular day, and my son James came over to help me with the furniture and the chairs.
What time did you send around?
Around 9:45 before I left for work.
What time did you get back?
A few minutes after 5.
Did you see your son leave the apartment at any time of the day?
Yes, he went to go get some soda for my geese.
Miss Sturgis, do you know why your son was arrested?
Statements are not evidence in the case. It is only an opportunity for both sides to sum up the evidence in the case and to argue their side. First, the defense will make his closing statement. Then, the defense will give their closing statement. Is the defense ready?
Yes, Your Honor. So quickly, she did not focus on the robbery, she focused on the knife. You heard James Brown testify when she said that he was only out for a short round. It wasn't and it wasn't at the exact same time of the robbery. James did not try to run or hide from the police. No, James did not try to run or hide his knife from the police. I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
We'll come back over to this one next and let's look at that.
I'm leaving now.
Oh, okay.
This was interesting though.
Yeah, they know they started late.
Yeah.
Later than usual.
But I'll see you on Monday.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Everybody else is wrong.
A reasonable doubt that James Sturgis robbed Miss Brown. Remember, Mr. Sturgis is presumed innocent, and at the conclusion of this trial, you will see that the evidence presented by the prosecution shows that the police arrested the wrong man. Nothing but the truth. You may now be seated.
Please state your full name.
Brown, Jane Brown.
Ms. Brown, directing your attention on January 7th of this year at approximately 5:01 in the afternoon. Could you please tell us what happened?
Well, I came home from getting my groceries. There was a man in the lobby. He was there for about 5 minutes. I saw the man into the elevator. I entered after him. The doors closed and started up.
Could you please tell us what happened next?
The elevator reached my floor, the 6th floor, and the man looked out into the hallway and quickly turned around to face me. I saw he had a knife in his hand. He demanded my pocketbook. I held on to it.
So, Ms. Brown, the man who you saw in the lobby, the elevator, the man who was standing in front of you, is he in the courtroom?
Yes, he is.
Did you point him out?
He's right there.
Let the record show that Ms. Brown has identified the defendant, James Sturgis. Now, Ms. Brown, when was Ms. Brown? I am showing you what has been marked. Can you describe the knife that the defendant used?
5 minutes.
Did anyone else come in?
No.
Did you stare at the man for 3 to 5 minutes?
No, I glanced at him from time to time.
Did you speak to him?
No.
Did he turn in your direction?
No.
Now, when you entered the elevator, where did the man stand and where were you standing?
I was standing near the back facing the door. He was standing near the front leaning against the wall.
Was he facing you or the door?
He was facing the door.
Isn't it a fact that the man in the elevator stood in front of you? Isn't it a fact that you could not see his complete face?
Yes.
Isn't it a fact that when the elevator stopped on your floor, the man looked out and turned around with a knife in his hand? Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct.
You were scared, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Scared you were going to be hurt?
Yes, I was.
Did you get a good look at the knife?
Yes.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I affirm.
You may now be seated.
Please state your full name and occupation.
I'm Police Officer Christina Banner, and I am assigned to the 99th Precinct.
Officer Banner, direct your attention on January 7th of this year. May you please tell us what happened, if anything, on that day?
I responded to a call at 305 Linden Boulevard and interviewed Jane Brown.
Miss Officer Banner, when was the last time, when was, let the record show that Police Officer Banner has identified the defendant, James Sturgis. Now, James Sturgis. Now, Officer Banner, when you searched the defendant, when you arrested the defendant, did you search him?
Yes.
Was anything found on him?
Yes, a small pocket knife.
Officer, I am showing you what has been marked as State Exhibit number 1 for identification. Do you recognize this?
Yes, I recovered that from James Sturgis on January 19th.
More than 1,000?
Sure, maybe.
At any time during this interview, did Ms. Brown describe the robber?
Yes, she said he was a tall, thin man, 6'2", wearing a black jacket, black pants, and sneakers.
Did she say that the robber had a hat on?
No.
Did she say the robber had a mask on?
No.
At any time during this interview, did Ms. Brown give you any of the man's facial features?
No.
So you received a general description of a tall, thin man wearing a black jacket and black pants. Is that right?
Yes, it's a general description.
Isn't that the description of many men?
Yes.
Thank you, Officer Banner. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
No, I was too busy cleaning up.
At any time after your mother came home, did you leave the apartment?
Yeah, to get some soda.
And about what time was that?
About 6 o'clock.
And about how long were you gone?
About 15 to 20 minutes.
James, thank you, James. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
May I question this witness?
Yes, you may.
You have been convicted of aggravated assault with a knife. Is this correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
All rise. Superior Court of Fulton County is now in session. The Honorable Judge Daviana Williams is now presiding. The case of the State of Georgia versus James Sturgis, indictment number Z12345.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Today we will begin the trial of the State of Georgia versus James Sturgis. The state is represented by Monty Brown and Emery Da Vinci. Mr. Sturgis is represented by Anna West and Anaya Johnson. The defendant who is seated before you is presumed innocent. You must listen to all the evidence before you return a verdict. Now we will start with the opening statement. First, the prosecution must give an opening statement. Then the defense, if they wish, may give an opening statement. Is the state ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Will the opposing attorneys please approach the bench?
The evidence will show you that on January 7th, Ms. Brown was returning to her apartment building when she saw a man she did not recognize. The lobby was reasonably lit, and Ms. Brown focused her attention on the man. When the elevator arrived, she stepped into the elevator and the man followed. She pressed the 6th floor button and the man pressed 10. When the elevator arrived on the 6th floor, the man stepped out, he turned around and blocked the doorway. He had a knife in his hand. He demanded Ms. Brown's pocketbook and took her. She hurt her knee. Furthermore, the man seen by Ms. Brown in the lobby, in the elevator, and in the hallway of the 6th floor is the defendant, James Sturgis, guilty as charged.
Mr. James Sturgis robbed Mrs. Brown. Remember, Mr. James Sturgis is presumed innocent. At the conclusion of this trial, after the evidence has been presented by the prosecution, you will see that the police arrested the wrong man. And I am sure you will deliver a verdict of not guilty.
Prosecution, please call your first witness.
I would like to call Ms. Jane Brown.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I affirm.
Please state your full name.
Brown, Jane Brown.
Ms. Brown, directing your attention to January 7th at approximately 5 o'clock p.m. Could you tell us what happened?
I came home from getting my groceries. I saw there was a man in the lobby. He was there for about 3 to 5 minutes. He entered the elevator, I entered after him. The doors closed and then started up.
Could you tell us what happened next?
Turned around to face me. I saw he had a knife in his hand. He demanded my pocketbook and I held on to it. He pushed me down, took my pocketbook, and ran away. My knee was hurt.
At this point, Ms. Brown, could you see his face?
Yes, he was directly in front of me. He was a tall, thin man, about 6'2", wearing a black jacket, black pants, and sneakers.
So, Ms. Brown, the man who you saw in the lobby, in the elevator, the man who was standing in front of you with a knife in his hand, is he in the courtroom?
I could see him.
Was he in front of you, to the side, or behind you?
He was kind of in the front to the side.
How long were you in the lobby for?
About 3 to 5 minutes.
Speak to him?
No.
Did he turn in your direction?
No.
Now, when he got into the elevator, where did he stand and where were you standing? Isn't it a fact that you could not see his face from where you were standing?
No, I could see the side of it.
But isn't it a fact that you couldn't see his complete face from where you were standing?
Yes.
Right.
Did you... How many men carry pocket knives?
A lot.
More than 100?
Yes.
More than 1,000?
Sure, maybe.
When you interviewed Miss Brown, did she give you the description of the man?
Yes, she said he was a tall, thin man, about 6'2".
During the interview, did Miss Brown give you any of the man's facial features?
No, she did not.
So you received a general description of a tall, thin man wearing black jacket and black pants. Is that correct?
Yes, or the general description.
Isn't it the description of many men?
Yes.
Thank you, Officer Banner. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Does the prosecution have any other witnesses? Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness. Call your next witness.
I call Miss Martha Sturgis.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I affirm. Miss Sturgis, I direct your attention to Saturday, January 7th. Where were you?
I was at work.
And that day?
Well, 9:45, before I left work.
And about what time did you come back?
A few minutes after 5.
Miss Sturgis, did you see your son leave the apartment anytime after you arrived?
An accurate description of the man who robbed her. In the lobby, the man stood 8 to 10 feet away, in the dark. In the elevator, the man was off to the side. She could only see a side of his face. The robbery occurred so quickly, Miss Brown did not focus her attention on the man, just a knife. You heard James' mother testify that he was only at the house for a short while and not at the time of the crime. James did not try to run from the police or try to hide his knife. Now, the state would like to have you believe that the knife James had was the same knife used in the robbery. I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, nowhere at either time of the crime or when James' statement has been made today. Review the evidence, use your common sense, and I am sure you will deliver a verdict of not guilty. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the prosecution has met its burden. This case requires that you rely on evidence, because it is the evidence that will direct you towards the verdict. The only verdict is guilty. Let me review some of the key evidence for you. Miss Brown was standing in the lobby with the man for 3 to 5 minutes. The lobby was recently lit. The man was standing 8 to 10 feet away. Miss Brown looked at him. When the elevator stopped and the defendant tried to rob Miss Brown, she was looking directly into his face. She saw him clearly and identified him in the courtroom. She also described the knife that was later found in the defendant's possession. James Sturgis testified that his mother did not get home until after 4 o'clock. He wants us to believe that he was home with his mother at the time the robbery took place, yet his mother testified that she did not get home until after 5. The defendant committed the robbery in his mother's building. That's why he could calmly wait for the elevator. A lot to lose here. As you know, he's a convicted felon and still on probation. When you deliberate and review all of the evidence, there is only one verdict, and that is the verdict of guilty. Thank you.
We have now reached the... Please remember the closing arguments of the attorneys on that evidence. However, if you find the arguments believable, you can adopt them. If you find them unbelievable, you can reject them. It's the function of the jury to draw their own conclusion from the evidence presented. In order to find the defendant guilty of armed robbery, you must find that the defendant did, in fact, take property from Ms. Brown by use of an offensive weapon. In order to find the defendant guilty of aggravated assault, you must find the defendant did, in fact, cause Ms. Brown to reasonably fear serious bodily injury by use of a deadly weapon, each charged separately. Thank you again for your patience and listening so intently. You may go now and deliberate. And remember, your verdict must be unanimous. That is, it must be agreed upon every juror.
Please stand until the jury has left.
We find the defendant, James Sturgis, guilty as charged.
Thank you so much!
Davion and please too.
First, give me your first last name, spell it for me, and tell me what school you go to and your grade.
My name is Mariah Davis, M-A-R-I-H-D-A-V-I-S. I go to Wesley International Academy and I am in 5th grade.
Can you tell us your name?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us how the whole Legal Lives experience was?
It was just awesome. It was a great experience, and if I could do it again and again, I would.
How did you practice for the role, and how involved did you get in preparing to be the defense attorney?
Well, I'm very competitive, so when I practice and put my mind to it, I do it, and I try to do the best that I can.
And how long did you practice for your role?
I practiced 2-3 weeks.
And did you enjoy it? Tell us how much you enjoyed the program.
I enjoyed it really a lot, and I recommend this program for everyone.
You okay with it? All right, thanks.
I loved this competition. It was fun and like it helps bring out what you could do in a real courtroom.
And what did you think of the whole Legal Lives program?
I think that it's really educational because it teaches you like what you do in court, and this play was also really fun because you got to actually get the experience of what it's like to be in court. It was fun because it taught you what like different law terms, and then it also taught you like different ways to come out and like do different things in different places without just having to do like plays. You could do stuff with law, and it was really fun.
All right, that's it. Now the buses are lined up on Pryor Street, so we're going to let you out through this exit, and you'll meet up with your buses right there. So we'll wait just a few more moments for the district attorney so we can hear about the winners.
I say, kids, you all keep it up. Go home, tell your parents you want to do this. Bug them like y'all bug them about the cell phones, video games. Bug them. Let them know your involvement. Get with your friends. Become friends over the summer. Work through this. You can continue this on. Do it at home. Practice it at home. You could be the next judge, the next DA. Keep it up. You all look good at what you're doing. Keep a smile on your face and work together. Bring involved. We need you. Thank you.
I live in Acton Jones also, and my son Larry Andrew. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. This was a wonderful experiment. I like seeing the kids engage into powerful, good things. I've seen so many children with so many good characteristics in them, especially the sheriffs and everybody. I just love to see you guys doing something positive, doing right. Big ups to the staff. Y'all keep it up. I thank you guys. Also parents, children, everybody. Thank you guys.
You can be anything you want to be. I have 4 children, and the oldest all 3 of them came out of DA stand, all 4 of them did. The oldest one just graduated at Fort Valley High School, Fort Valley University, and he came out of DA stand. I just want to say, kids, hang on to your dreams, hold on to your dreams and everything, and don't give up. When they go and get tough, don't give up. Thank you.
I did great today, all the kids. Y'all was so dramatic. I love the costumes. Y'all spoke very well. I really want to give a thanks to Ms. Lawrence and Ms. Lee for allowing me this moment. And my son, he was the bailiff. His name is Tavares Williams, and he wants to be a SWAT. So stay out of trouble. He loves police officers, so this was a good experience for him, and I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much.
And that's for rising 7th and 8th graders. That's a summer program that goes on for the entire month of July, and that's where we take students to visit people like the mayor of Atlanta, the chief of police, the governor. And the premise is, and Mr. Howard can often be quoted as saying, you cannot be what you cannot see. So the idea is to put students in the seats of influential people so that they can see and feel what it's like to be in that position. So we encourage all of our Fulton County residents to apply, rising 7th and 8th graders. Allow a tribunal to decide what the appropriate remedy is for offenses. So it allows the students to take part in the justice system on their level and to administer the appropriate response. And so we have the teen court. Anyone interested in that? Any schools? A junior marshals program that's put on by the marshals department, similar to the junior DA program, and there's a junior clerks program. So Fulton County has several youth programs that we allow students to come in and see what we do every day, and we definitely encourage you to apply.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michael McMillan. I am at Agnes Jones Elementary as well. I wanted to say to support these great kids. I have been with the program, let's see, this is my 7th year. I did 6 years and we took a couple of years off, and now we're back and we're happy to be a part of this wonderful experience. These kids are great. The costumes have evolved. I've seen so many good faces, different cool characters. So we just want to say thank you guys, because if it wasn't for the involvement of the district attorney's office and all the other people that are involved in helping these kids get these costumes together, we wouldn't have such a great program. So thank you.
Doing? Are you ready? All right, and I know Kenya has already done this, but I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to do this one more time because I am so happy to see them here today. I first of all want to acknowledge all of the parents and guardians and grandparents. Could you please just stand one more time for me, if you would? I do this every year, but for the fact that you stood up then, I would have thought that you were students, but pay me now, Kenya, pay me now. But we really do thank you for coming out with us. We also want to acknowledge the staff, the teachers, and the administrators from each one of our schools. Would you stand? All right, great. Well, let me just tell you, this year, we've got, 8 outstanding schools. So the first thing that I want to do is to let's recognize the schools. And we're going to ask all of the participants from Parkside, if you would please stand. Parkside. Thank you, thank you. Parkside. All right. Cleveland. All right. And Shake Rag. Got their own sign. And this year, for the first time, we have our first charter school. You know, Kenya, we're really in big time now. I mean, we got a charter school. Wesley, would you stand? All right. How about Cliftondale? Cliftondale, would you stand? Myself and so I asked the coach, I said, Coach, you know, I'm interested in kind of getting with some of the girls and I want to score 20 points. And the coach told me, he says, but in order to score the 20 points, the first thing you got to do is you got to get into what? You got to get. So we don't have to worry about winning. So what we're doing today, we're going to be awarding you a trophy just because you're in what? Because you're in the game. All right, let's give ourselves a big round of applause. Chance to see a lawyer in person. You know, I've seen them on television and stuff. And so my first week at school, they introduced me to a lawyer. And I got a chance so that one day you will what? Be. All right? All right, we're ready for the announcements. Let's give ourselves a real big round of applause. All right. This year I demanded better award category for the best prosecutor, Caleb Bush, Parkside. Come on down. I might have known. Turn the trophy. Get that trophy. All right. Caleb, step here. Yeah. Step up here. All right. You all right? All right. All right. Fulton, Parkside. Miss Brown. Wait a minute. Excuse me. Ms. Brown, can I have your hair? That's okay. You know, I get emotional when I see that much hair. Just telling you, All right. For the best officer banner, Austin Birdshell, Parkside. Congratulations. All right. Princess Newman, Cleveland Avenue. Congratulations. Turn around here. Take this picture for the AJC. All right, thank you, ma'am. All right. Good drink. All right. Carter, Parkside. Wow, look at this costume. For the best judge, Antoinette Webb, Cleveland Avenue. No, this one. All right. Judge, we almost put you out of court. All right. And for the best bailiff, Travaris Williams, Cleveland Avenue. And now for the school. And this is for the school winner. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the closest contests that we've had in probably the 10 or 12 years we've been doing this. It was decided by 1 point. 1 point. And for the best school in this competition, Cleveland Avenue. Thank you so much. How about my hair? Okay. All right. All right. And now the competition between Shake Rag and Wesley. For the best prosecutor, Angel Sakers. Thank you. Thank you. Let me turn it over here. Is that your picture here? All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Now, back over. Okay. And for the best defendant, James Sturgis, Tanalis Denson Wesley. All right, congratulations. And for the best bailiff, Alice Ware, Shake Rag. That's a mean bailiff.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. If you all. All right. Now, and you can tell that the competition between these two schools and the winner is Shake Rag. Oh, okay. All right. All right. 1, 2, 3. Win! Thank you all so much. Let's give a big round of applause to our winners, Wesley, and to Shake Rag. All right. And now the competition between Cliftondale. Let me take one picture with our award. All right. Let's give our award category winners a real big round of applause. And now the winner between the two schools, State Bridge and M. Agnes Jones, and the winner is M. Agnes Jones. We are now about to name the winners of the Howard Cup. And as you can see, the cup is solid gold. At least I think it's solid gold, you know. And it goes to the first recipient, the school that has accumulated the most points, and the second place trophy will go to the school that has accumulated the second most points. But before we do that, let's again give all of our participants a big round of applause. And I just want to remind you that afterwards, everybody gets a trophy, all right? Because everybody here is a big winner, okay? All right. Now, let me just tell you, and again, this is one of the closest contests we've ever had in the history of our calculations. But we want to start by naming our second place winner. And our second place winner for 2013 is Parkside. Don't drop it. Okay. Yes, it is. All right. Thank you. Let's give Parkside a big round of applause. Parkside. Well, as we always say every year, Kenya, you know, when there's competition, there can be only one. Is that right? Only one. Only one. So now let me open up the envelope that has been hermetically sealed, and it's been in a vault at Bank America on Cascade Avenue. And now we're getting ready to announce the winner. Drum roll, please. And the winner of the gold-plated Howard Trophy for 2013 is Cleveland Avenue. You said it. All right. You all look at the camera.
You're the jury. All right, good.
Our parents and guardians, let's hear from again. And let's hear it for our teachers and administrators. Let's hear from them again. DA's office, let's hear it for them. And let's hear it for all of our schools, all of our 8 schools. The question is, are the pictures going to be in the AJC? Let me tell you, I have complete editorial control over the AJC. And I'm going to tell you, I will get them in. Does anybody believe that? Nobody believes that. No, we don't know. We're going to submit them to them, and we're going to ask the AJC to please post those photographs, okay? And maybe you might want to call them as well and ask them to post those photographs. All right.
To leave out through the door, exiting here, and your buses will be waiting for you.
Go up.
So we want you to come down, here,
go up.
loop back around.
All right.
To the side, Wesley Academy will take a picture with the district attorney. We're going to take a picture.
Okay. Let me do this one interview.
Okay.
If I can get the perspiration off my bald head here. Okay. All right. Ready? Let me step back a little.
I'm just trying to get in there.
Get on in there, you know. You know.
I want to be on GBC.
Okay. Let me take one swipe of my perspiration.
Just tell me about the legalized program, and also tell me why it's good for students to get involved in a program.
So our 13th year, isn't that right? Yes. Let me know when you're. 16. This is our 16th year of operation of a very simple program we call Legalized. Employees from the district attorney's office, particularly our attorneys, go out to elementary schools in our city, and they talk to young people about making good decisions. They talk about the criminal justice system, and particularly about what goes on in the Fulton County DA's office. At the culmination of that year, we hold a mock trial. And what we saw today was the best mock trial competition in the world. And we're just so proud to be a part of it. All right.